Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Psycho-Pass Season 1 Episode 1 reaction. So this is the show which won in the poll that I did in my YouTube community section. I did a poll I think at least 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the one that ended up winning with almost 50% votes was Psycho-Pass, and then there were the few others like Durarara, Monster, Mushishi. These few I put on the poll as well. Psycho-Pass won, so now I'm going to be reacting to this. I've seen that Psycho-Pass has quite a few amounts of seasons, so this will probably take a while for me to complete. So let's go every week I'm going to be reacting to one episode. So I feel like it'll probably take me at least a year to completely see each and everything, probably more than that. So yeah, let us start then. And one thing I need to mention before that, all the animes that was in that poll, like Durarara, Monster, I do eventually plan on reacting to them all. So even though one of them, even though they lost, I'll probably bring them back eventually and start reacting to them. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Anyways, let us get started. Psycho-Pass, episode 1, season 1, episode 1. Now I have no idea what the show is about. I've just saw, I think it's like something related to crime and something like that. So that's all I know about the show. I know a few characters, from their appearance. That's how I kind of know them. Psycho-Pass is quite popular, so I've seen a few of these characters here and there on the internet, and I have also heard the opening. So that's all I know about about Psycho-Pass. Other than that, I have no clue. So let's see what this show is about, and yeah, let us get started then. So season 1, episode 1. Let's begin. So I will put the subtitle and the timer here. Sync the subtitle and the timer to the video you will be watching alongside my reaction. And yeah, let us get started. Okay, so here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Right. No, this is the opening. Like I said, this opening is extremely popular. I've heard it a lot. This is TK, obviously. Okay, those are like robots? Okay. Is this like a futuristic? I think so. Oh. Oh. Oh, damn. TK's opening, yeah. Whoa, what the? Hey! Is that a chainsaw? What is that? Okay. Hmm. Ogamishinya. Psycho-Pass. Okay. Crime coefficient. Public safety. Oh, these are from the. Okay, these are like security bots. What the, hey, what is those designs? Wait, what? Those are holograms? What's happening? Hmm. Tsunemori Akane. Left to hit the ground runner. You check. Oh, this is like I said, it's a futuristic world. You so compatible drone. I see. That's why they like taped it off. Collision block. Ah. Hmm. I see. Yeah. Okay. Psychopath crime. Oh, so I see. They're going to help us out, I guess. And he's one of them. Okay. Enforcers. So they're criminals, but they're doing this probably for the sentence to go down or something like that. I guess. Second owner. Right. Wait, this guy. This guy looks familiar. You aren't in the first. Right. Oh, that's cool. Damn, the music. Oh, you're asking him? Right. Reads the psychopaths of the trunk to your. Ah, okay, that's okay. I see. Damn, this is so cool. The whole like the futuristic part of it reminds me of a game. Ah, yeah, annoying. Aren't we going to return? Oh, she's just going to be like someone who keeps an eye on them. Let's see. I see. Yeah. Masaoka. Hmm. Oh boy. Ugh. Oh, great. Well, it makes sense why he's a criminal. Like, if he has, like, his. What? Virtual? Oh, I forget that this is, like, futuristic. Oh, boy. He said that he has his own way of. Oh, I just realized his hands are mechanical. Wait, who's that? Someone's just behind you. Oh, it's just under 60, so it's fine? Oh, it's just a. Hmm. Okay. I was thinking. I was thinking if she's going to do that. Enforce at will. Yeah. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, this is the practical stuff are completely different. Hmm. Oh, there he is. Yeah, like things will not go like the way it's written in the book. Oh my god. Okay. 190. Oh, so I'm guessing it depends on your coefficient how much hard it'll shoot. Whoa. Oh, he didn't stop at that. What's happening? It didn't work. Oh. Lethal. So you have to kill him. Hmm. Wait. Why did her? Why did her psychopath? So it's based on stress. Contagious. So yeah, like I said, stress. Yeah, I was wondering, is it to reduce the sentence? Probably not then. Okay, I'm sure. It won't work on them, but it might work on the other guy, the criminal guy. You an idiot or something. Whoa! Oh, that is what it means to be the eliminator. So it literally explodes you. Damn. Cojones. Go. Ah, boy. What about that girl though? Now her coefficient has gone up. She's gonna get more stressed now. No, she's gonna think, yeah, yeah. Oh my god. This is so messed up. Why? She she just Yeah. The system is kind of weird. This whole. What? What is that? Oh my God! It's. She's gonna blow herself up. So what do we do? Like, yeah, it's increasing. I feel like. Oh no. What? Oh, she shot him. Yeah, I guess she had that choice. She could do that because she had the gun as well. Oh no! Hey, nah! Oh my God. Can the coefficient go down? I'm guessing it can. Maybe, I'm not really sure. Oh, it is. There you go. So it can change. Okay. Wait, who shot? Oh, this dude. Yeah, okay. Well, at least she's alive. But she'll be a criminal now. Just because. Oh my God. Wait a minute. This seems pretty. Wait. So, since the index can coefficient index can go down, there was a possibility if we calmed her down, it would have come down, and we just tried to kill her. Isn't that wrong? What's happening? What type of system is this? Like, I could understand if the coefficient goes up and it stays up, it never goes down. If it comes down, then we could have easily handled the situation in a better way. Instead of like stressing her out even more and making her panic by pointing a gun at her after all that. Right, this seems like a very flawed system. What type of system is this? Okay. Okay, that is it. Yeah. All right, there you go. That was this episode. All right, here we go. This episode. This was the first episode of Psychopath season 1. Now, like after watching this, like first of all, here's the thing. I thought at first that the index cannot come down. You know. So that's why I was thinking like, oh, once it goes down, it cannot come back down. That's why they're trying to restrain her. But if it can come down, then couldn't we have just calmed her down and then like then checked her and see what her index is? Like at that point, a person literally exploded in front of her, and everything that she went through before that, obviously that stress was making her index shoot up. So instead of scaring her even more by pointing the gun at her, like, it's just so weird, isn't it? Like, right, I don't know how people, like, wait, so what's this thing then? People cannot get stressed in this world? If you get stressed, you're immediately a criminal? Like, what? Like, that's what it seemed like. Okay, you know what? I feel like I'm missing something. There might be a better explanation. I'm sure we'll get a proper explanation in the upcoming episodes. But from the looks of it, it seems like they said that it it depends on the amount of stress that your index changes. And at that point, since she was extremely stressed because of the situation, it kept shooting up more and more and more. So obviously that wasn't her normal index. It was shooting up because of the stress. So instead of just basing the whole judgment on that time when she was stressed out, couldn't we have just waited for her to calm down, and take her to the hospital, got her the treatment, and then when she was calmed down, then check her index and see if she's a threat or not, instead of just doing it then and there and trying to tranquilize her at that moment, which obviously made her even more stressed out and her index went even higher. So I don't know, I feel either I'm missing something, or I need a they'll probably explain it in a better way in the next episode or something. But I feel like we didn't get the whole picture today. Maybe in the upcoming episodes they'll give us the whole picture. But otherwise, this system seems extremely flawed, and by extremely flawed I mean extremely flawed. Like, people cannot keep going. Like, if this was the case, if it actually, okay, you know what? I think in the ending scene there was a section where they kind of explain what's happening. Here we go. This is a world where the mental state and personal tendencies of humans can be quantified. While all sorts of inclinations are recorded and policed, these measured numbers used to judge people's souls are commonly known as psychopaths. That is such a weird thing. Like, mental state and personal tendencies. I can understand personal tendencies, like I said, but mental state, really? So you're saying that if I'm stressed out and one of the police force people decide to aim the gun at me and judge my index, I'm extremely stressed out, and my index will be high enough for them to literally shoot me. Is that what's happening here? So you cannot get stressed in case someone just attacks you. Like, what? Personal tendencies I can understand. Like I said, when you're calmed down, like, for example, as you can see, when those criminals were going with her, and one of the guy who was with the girl, what was her name, Akane or something, I need to remember the names. When the guy told her that, when the girl pointed her gun at him and saw that his index is higher, like 110 or something, that is probably his personal tendencies measurement. As they say, that is how he is. So it makes sense, at that point, to quantify him as to kind of say that, he's a criminal, because he's not stressed out, he's in a very normal state, still his index coefficient was higher than 100. So yeah, you can do that. But that lady was stressed out. It can be that when she's normal, her coefficient could have been 60 or 70s or something like that, couldn't it be? At that point, since she was so stressed out, maybe that's why it was shooting up. And judged on, making a judgment on that, I feel like that's extremely wrong. Especially in a situation like that, where someone literally exploded in front of her. I don't know. So, this seems such a flawed system, I think. Anyways, either way, let's wait for it. I'm sure next episode which I'll react to next week, will probably give us a better understanding of what's going on. This is just, I guess, a little intro we got of the whole thing. Right. Now, another thing, which is, first of all, this obviously this is like a futuristic world. You can see how the whole like system is like completely monitored by machines, like this whole Psycho-Pass index and all that stuff, all like used like done by machines and everything. And not only that, every single thing that you can see is like heavily like based on like machines and like stuff. For example, even the gun had like an automatic system of judging the Psycho-Pass and the index, and the trigger getting locked based on if it's lower, or the trigger getting unlocked if the index went up or something like that. So extremely futuristic, as you can see, and yeah, it seems interesting. And not only futuristic, it seemed like this like reminds me of like like the, as you can see, the whole place, like the whole section, you can see there's like so many futuristic gadgets and stuff, but there's like so many sections we saw which kind of reminds us of like the back alleys, like for example the buildings and everything. There's a lot of shady places you can see here, so this kind of reminds me of like a like it gives me a vibe of, I don't know, like if you guys have played it or not, but there's a game called Deus Ex. I used to play it a lot back then, back when the first part came out. It's more like this really reminds me of that. It is that whole game was extremely futuristic, but it had like this type of a vibe to it, where a lot of crime is happening and stuff, like, yeah. And if I have to compare this to a recent game or something, I could probably compare this to Cyberpunk. But I would say like this more so reminds me of Deus Ex, not Cyberpunk, because Deus Ex had this whole vibe to it, where there's like buildings and stuff, and there's like police and like criminals here and there, and like back alleys, shady stuff going on here and there, and and you were like a police officer, and that kind of thing. And it was very cool. It was one of the one of my favorite games when I was a kid. And I'm talking about the very first Deus Ex. I'm not talking about the newer ones. The very first one, which I used to play on my Windows 98 computer. That was great fun. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, this really reminds me of that. This whole vibe to it, like it's like a modern, extremely modern, like setting, but at the same time, things like are very like dark, and like a very, it has a very dark feeling to it, this whole thing. So like this is very interesting, because I've seen so many shows which have this whole like very happy and bright vibe to it, but underneath, like there's like this, like when you understand what's the true essence to the show, you realize that that bright and like happy vibe is just like a disguise to the actual like shady and weird stuff going on. And this is like completely opposite to that, where this looks futuristic and everything, and the vibe actually like screams that, oh, like this whole show is going to be very like dark, and like that type of thing, like a lot of like shady stuff and a lot of bad stuff. Obviously it makes sense, this is literally a show about like police officers apprehending criminals. So it makes sense, but yeah, this is quite interesting, and especially the futuristic like stuff that we're seeing here, it gives an interesting twist to it, I guess you could say. And yeah, and I can think of so many things going wrong. For example, the whole automated system of the guns, the trigger getting locked and unlocked based on the index, I can see that going wrong so many times, because here's the thing, like, automated stuff are all well and good, but I get a different sense of security if something is manual, that kind of thing. Like like you can see here, the gun automatically locks if it sees the index is low, and it automatically changes into an annihilator, like an eliminator, if the index is high. So the fact that it's automatic, and I don't think you can manually tune it, is such, it gives me like it gives me a feeling that this is going to go wrong somewhere down the line, because of this whole system. Somewhere down the line is just going to somehow like be the reason why something bad happens, this whole automated system. a lot of other things. Like I said, the whole system of checking the coefficient, like the index or whatever, that in itself sounds so wrong. So yeah, this show is probably, I can see where this is going to go. This is going to be like a show where we're going to constantly question like the morals, and like whether what we are doing is correct or incorrect, that kind of show. Like you can see here this whole system of like, oh, point a gun at someone. If the index is lower, you're all well and good. If it's higher, shoot him, tranquilize him. If it goes even higher than that, completely like eliminate him. That kind of thing. So it's like it has like a set rule, like like it's just there, and you have to follow that. You cannot go like away from that. But I feel like this can go wrong so many ways. So this is probably going to be one of those shows where you constantly like question what's happening, whether it's correct, morally correct or incorrect. Like for example, as you can see here today in the very first episode we saw, where the girl was like, how is this okay? She literally is a victim. She got captured, she got beaten, she like all that stuff happened, and now she saw someone like literally explode in front of her, and we are going to kill her. We're trying to shoot her. Like, how is this okay? That kind of thing. So yeah, like this is going to be one of those shows where we constantly ask whether something is morally correct or incorrect. That kind of thing. Okay, right, and yeah, that was the very first episode. Good start. I'm interested in seeing where this is going to go, and yeah, I have a lot of questions which I'm sure will be answered eventually, little by little. Right. Oh, and the enforcers. Okay. Here's the thing. They didn't really give us the answer to the question. Why are they called the enforcers, aren't they? The people, the guys who are the criminals who are doing this. I think so. So yeah, that like they didn't really give us the answer to the question why they are doing this. Like at first I thought they're doing this because that maybe the sentence will go down or something. I'm not really sure. Like something like that I thought, but I don't think that's what they're doing this for. Who knows? Let's wait and see. And the fact that they're actually like doing this, then there must be a reason why they are doing this. Otherwise they're criminals. Like why would they help the police unless and until there's something in for them? So yeah, let's wait and see. Okay. And oh, another thing, this dude, the jacket dude, the one who was with, okay, I need to know their names. You know what, let me check their names first. I need to remember their names. Okay, the girl's name is Akane. Okay, Akane. And the dude's name, the guy, the main dude, his name is Shinya. While the jacket guy, his name is Masaoka Tomomi. Okay, the guy Masaoka Tomomi, he reminds me of another character from another. I feel like I've seen his character design at least in 2 other animes. Like that jacket and that face. I'm sure I've seen him in some other anime. He has such an like a common design. Like and he really gives me the vibe of like a private investigator or something. Like like a police officer, private investigator, with that jacket and everything, like a detective or something. He gives me that vibe. But anyways, yeah, and he's the one who actually like told or gave like the details and how to like take care of the situation to Akane. Like literally briefed her that, oh, this is how you do this, this is how you should do this. And he also said that if you feel like what we are doing is incorrect, you can shoot us. And I guess that's what she did in the end, where Akane shot Shinya when he was almost going to kill that lady. Yeah. Right. So yeah, let's see. Okay, and that was my initial impressions of this show. So yeah, let's go. I'm interested. Let's see, how the story proceeds. Right, now I'm going to talk about this episode scene by scene now. Let's see if I missed anything. So in the very first scene, we get to see the whole city, how it's like a whole futuristic city with big buildings, huge skyscrapers, like just like a modern, like a modern futuristic type of a world. And the very first scene, we get to see Shinya is fighting someone, or he's like in a building and he's fighting. At first he was like fighting like a robot, and then after he takes care of the robot, in comes this other dude whose name is, I think he actually he actually introduced himself, didn't he? Let me see if I can find it. Okay, his name is Makishima Shogo. Shinya and Shogo. Okay. I feel like I'm going to mix up these two names. Shinya and Shogo. Shinya. Okay. Shinya. Shogo. Okay. Right. Yeah, it'll probably take me a while to remember their names. But okay. So we get to see them, and I'm not really sure when, like, and maybe that's like a, how animes kind of do fast forward a little bit. Either this is something that happened in the past or is going to happen in the future. Not really sure when. Sometimes they show stuff from the past and then they fast forward to the anime, or sometimes they show stuff from what is going to happen in the future and then they backtrack and show the anime. That's how they do it either way. So this is either something that happened in the past or the future. One thing, I think I can probably figure out when this happened. The dude had a gun, didn't he? When he was fighting? Yeah, he had the thing. That particular type of gun. So I'm guessing this is going to happen in the future because he's already, or maybe not. I'm not really sure. You know what? Yeah, like, let's just wait. I'm sure they'll explain it to us eventually. But yeah, either way, that was the first scene, and then we get to see the this guy here. Something is happening. Like the whole place has been taped out, and in comes Akane, and Akane is the newbie who has been posted here, and the other guy, the glasses guy, he says that, oh, it's such a shame, like, so you have rotten luck having that you have to deal with an incident right after getting posted, so he's like, CID has very short manpower, that's why it's unfortunate, but you'll have to work with us. So the target is Okura Nobuo, and what happened is that a street scanner flagged him while doing a hue check. So this hue check is, I'm guessing, the Psycho-Pass index or whatever. So security drone ordered him to receive therapy. Okay, but he refused and ran. Psycho-Pass it recorded for him was forest green. Wait, what does this mean? Psycho-Pass it recorded for him was forest green. So having it was forest green means his aggression and compulsion are expected to be high. Why would he avoid treatment long enough so it's hue to get this class? This seems like such a weird system. Like, this seems like some kind of a futuristic dystopian society. Like, everything is like monitored, and like the robots are like, oh, you're like your Psycho-Pass who is forest green, better go to therapy. And they like force you to go to therapy. If you don't go, they literally shoot you, tranquilize you, and force you to do it. Like, I guess, yeah, like, obviously, like, if it, like, yeah, definitely, that guy probably didn't need therapy. But what doesn't sit well with me is constantly being monitored and like shoving this whole system in the face of it. I feel like a lot of people probably get stressed about the fact that they'll probably trigger some kind of a, like when they're walking through the road, a lot of people are probably stressed out of the fact, like, oh no, like, I hope my Psycho-Pass index is properly attuned, otherwise they're going to arrest me. Like, that itself probably overstresses out a lot of people, like being afraid of the fact that, yeah, they just might get tranquilized and like arrested. Okay, and he also says like it's possible that he used incompatible drug, which is probably what happened since that's what we saw in the end, where his index kept increasing more and more and more. So he was under some kind of a influence. The guy shot him, but it didn't work. So he was under like drug abuse probably. So yeah, but still like I don't know. I don't feel comfortable. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable living in a world when you're constantly being monitored, even if you're outside just shopping or something. Like you're constantly being monitored by a pair of cameras or something. Like, god damn, that in itself is gonna stress me out. Right. And I could just imagine, this thing stressing out someone so much that they start showing criminal tendencies. Like, that kind of thing. Okay. In any case, he's a latent criminal, one far enough gone that we don't need to wait for civil judgment. A latent criminal. So they're just assuming that, oh, because your index is like this, you are a criminal. Right, you know what? This doesn't really sit well with this whole system. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, he says the problem is the place where he ran to. First of all, this block, since it's an abolition block, there's no relay device, so drones cannot. Okay, another thing we can see, there's a lot of info dump in this very first episode. You can see they like use a lot of terms which I don't think anyone who's watching this for the first time will understand, but you can probably guess it. He says that this is an abolition block. I don't know what that means, but it's probably something like, something like, oh, it's like, as he says, like no relay device or drones can come in. It's probably like a place where it's difficult for, them to properly do investigation or go in with the full force. Like it's like more like a, like like the like the what do you call them, the black market kind of like part where like security is a bit lax and a lot of shady stuff are happening. Maybe it's something like that. So yeah, a lot of info dumping in this episode. Not too much, but there are quite a few like like terms which doesn't make sense, at least now. Maybe we'll get to know them later. But yeah, it's not that bad. Like the info dump here was pretty minimal. I've seen a lot of animes which has crazy info dumping. Like literally in the very first episode, like they just like give you like the like the whole like story, like everything. They just info dump on you. You're like, what the hell is going on? It's not that bad, but there are a few sections which I guess it doesn't make sense. Probably because you're watching it for the first time. Okay. In addition, okay, so yeah, he got a hostage. That's the other thing. A young woman has been taken. So there you go. Now he's like, okay, so you will be working with these people. So the truck comes in, and he's like, don't think of them as humans. Their psychopaths' crime coefficients all exceed a specific value. People of bankrupt character. Damn, that's a word. Normally, they would simply be isolated as latent criminals, but they're allowed into the outside world for the sole purpose of flushing out criminals like themselves. Yeah, but I do wonder why they are doing it. They must have some kind of a reason why they are actually doing this. Like I said, at first I thought that maybe it's because their sentence will go down or something. Maybe not. I'm not really sure. We'll see. Okay. They're hunting dogs. They're beasts used to hunt beasts. But it's kind of interesting because they're using criminals to fight criminals. It's like, like even if you lose the criminal, like who's fighting them, in that way, I guess, the police department and everyone probably think that, oh, like it's not that much of a big deal because they're literally criminals. Like it's literally criminals taking out criminals. So, that's probably another reason why they're using this. Using criminals to do all of these. Okay, yeah, they are called enforcers. They'll be your subordinates. So we have 4 enforcers. Okay, and these 4 people, and then there's this. Okay. So they introduce themselves and everything, and Gino, that's the name of the glasses guy. He's like, oh, this person, like, like is our, like a newbie who will be joining us, and he says that we'll be dividing into two groups and take turns. So yeah, you will go with Akane. Akane will go with Shinya and what's the other guy's name? Tomomi, Masaoka Tomomi. Shinya and Tomomi. While the other two are coming with him. So, Okay, now in comes out their guns. So, what is the name of the guns? I think they have the name Dominator, I think, something like that. Wait a minute. Okay, so Akane is like, what should I do? And Tomomi is like, oh, you can just tell us to stand, tell us to do what we can. You can just say stand by. Okay, Dominator, yeah, that's the name. So yeah, like the gun is literally like an AI type of gun, not an AI gun, but it's like kind of like that. It has like a built-in system of like checking out the psychopath index. If it exceeds a certain thing, it changes into like a lethal, like tranquilizer. No, at first it turns into a tranquilizer. If it's like above like 160 or something, it turns into a lethal, like like a destroyer gun type of thing. So yeah, like I said, this seems quite interesting and very like handy, but I can see this becoming a troublesome situation in the near future episodes. Like I said, since it's automatic, this will probably become a problem in the future. We'll see. So yeah, and as soon as she gets the gun, like everything like starts popping up and everything, like the gun literally starts talking. Not talking, but giving out the information, and it's only she can hear it. It's a directional voice. Only the holder of the gun can hear it. Right. So yeah, they begin their whole thing, and Tomomi kind of says like, you leave this to us. Let us do it. And Shinya is also like, yeah, let us do it. We have our own way of doing it. So you just give us the orders and just lay back. So you can see Akane says that she was like at the top of the school. So she has like, she knows everything like from the books. But as Tomomi says, like personal experience is very important in this situation, because things never go the way it's written on the books. And then we move to this dude here, the guy, the criminal guy, and he's like, oh, like I have always like never done anything wrong. Why did the index suddenly do that? And he's like stressing out. And then he's like, oh, I've always wanted to do whatever the hell I want to. Yeah, he was a genuine, like like he had like criminal tendencies. But I'm sure there will be people in the future who are falsely, like for example in this very episode we saw, the girl herself, she just was a victim. She was a victim from the very beginning, and then in the end, just because her index was high, she was literally going to get tranquilized, and then probably I don't know what she was going to go through after that, but it's definitely not something good. She'll probably be arrested and more problems. So just by being a victim, she like what? Yeah, this is such a weird system. I don't know. Okay, anyways, so yeah, now here you can see they kind of go in and they're like looking at the place, like seeing where the criminal is, and then Akane kind of sees a random dude there and points the gun at them and sees that the index is less than 60, so it's fine. The gun gets locked. So I knew that she was going to do, like when she's like moving with Tomomi, I knew she was probably going to point it at him to see what it is, what happens when the index is high. So he pointed the gun at Tomomi, and Tomomi had an index of 110 or something like that. Yeah, no, over 120, 127. Yeah. So yeah, this the gun is like, oh, like safety lock has been, here we go, the target has force at will status, safety will be released. So and Akane kind of sees that and realizes like, oh, so this is how it works. right? And she also thinks that he is a criminal. That means like he's like talking so calmly and without any problems, like, but he inside he's a criminal. That would mean, um, right? And again, Tomimi again says like, let me give you an advice. Get used to how things goes here, and things are never going to work according to logic or the books that you have read in your academy. Things always go wrong in some way or the other. So you need to get used to everything. Um, yeah, and he says like we live in a time where technology can read everything in your mind, and yet the world teems with people who hide with hate, lie, steal, and try to harm others. If that's not irrational, then what it is? Okay, so then we get to see the other dude, who comes in front of the criminal, and he's like, oh, the hostage won't be able to like stay safe if I keep waiting. What should I do? Should I engage him? And he's given the authority to engage. So the coefficient is above 160, so it becomes like into a lethal eliminator. No, wait. At first it wasn't over 160. At first it was, I think, how much? 140 or something? No, 190. At first it was over 190. So yeah, the safety gets out and it becomes a tranquilizer. But it doesn't work because, as they say, he's probably under some kind of drugs. And then it gets higher even more after getting shot. He probably got stressed out. And, and then the gun changes into a lethal eliminator. And the dude, jumps off of not jumps off, but like gets, out of the building and falls down with the girl. And then he leaves, carrying the girl. And this is where he's like, oh, it's all over. We cannot apprehend him anymore. We have to eliminate him. So, yeah, there's no room for rehabilitation. We have to, completely kill him. And that's how the Dominator has been made. And yeah, and it's like unfortunate that your first case had to be such an unpleasant one, young lady. Okay, so here we go. Here is where we see the criminal shows the girl her index, and he's like, oh, look at this. Your index looks similar to mine now. 110. You and I are alike. If they catch you, it'll be all over for you as well. You'll be tortured by them as a latent criminal for the rest of your life. Okay, so Akane says this is psychohazard, isn't it? Yeah, a crime coefficient can be contagious. Young people these days aren't good at dealing with stress, easily affected by violent urges and compulsions. Right, this seems so wrong. Like I said, if you're stressed out, obviously you're going to feel stuff like that. But that doesn't mean you're a person like that, like inherently. Like the girl, for example, like obviously her index was low, but after all this that happened, that is how her index went up. So just because of that, we have to like, what? I don't know. Like it's just, I don't know. It seems extremely flawed. But this is barely the first episode. Let's see what, what happens and how this works. Okay. And Tommy also says that be careful. We're also criminals. This can happen to us as well. Then you have to shoot us. Okay, so here finally they come in front of the criminal and they point the gun at him, but he's not listening, and he's threatening them to be, like, oh, like, put down your gun, otherwise I'll kill this lady. And they do that, and you can see he takes the gun and tries to shoot them, but it doesn't work. Okay, here's another thing. Wait, let me go back. I need to understand that part. They kind of explain the Dominator, what it is. So will the Dominator not work on someone else other than the owner using it? Since it was Akane's gun, maybe that's why he couldn't use it? Or was it because of the coefficient being low? Wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, I've gone back to the part where the Dominator comes in. You know how to use a Dominator, right? Okay, I did receive training on it more or less. This is a gun that reads the psychopaths of the target you're aiming at, safely released when the target is a latent criminal. You can deal, you can just do what the Dominator tells you. If it says shoot, just shoot. If it's a basic mode, it'll use paralyzer. It only paralyzes the target. So we'll take them into custody, and that'll be that. When you don't have, okay, you don't have to take it seriously. Okay, it has a user authentication. Like I said, is that why it didn't work on the other guy? I think so. Right, so I'm not 100% sure, but it might just be the reason why the gun didn't work. It's either that because he didn't have the authority to use it, or it might be just because he was pointing at Akane, wasn't he? Since Akane's coefficient was low, that's why it got locked out. But I think it's because of the authentication. The gun didn't, the gun only works on the person it's probably assigned to, and that's why it didn't work on when he took it up, or something like that. Either way, taking this opportunity, Shinya, I think that's his name, yeah. Shinya comes and just shoots him, and since it was set to eliminator mode, completely destroyed the dude. And the girl is obviously like scared, and she's like, stressed out and everything. And when Akane tries to go and talk to her, Shinya comes in and points the gun at her, and he's like, come on, check. No, sorry, not Shinya. Tomomi comes in and points the gun at her, and they're like, oh, let's check what her crime coefficient is. Over 160. As soon as he says that, the girl gets scared, because the criminal guy literally told her that, oh, if they catch you, you'll be tortured and all that stuff. So yeah, and she's getting even more and more stressed out. After everything that she went through, now she has to deal with this crap. Obviously she gets stressed out, and she just jumps down and starts running. Akane stops Tomomi, but she's like, come on, we don't have to use violence on her. Like, she literally went through so much. And he's like, listen, the Dominators are Sibyl's eyes. Town system itself has decided that she's a threat. Think about what that means. Okay, all that stuff, and then we get to see she has literally put the fuel, and has a lighter on her hand, and she's like, oh, don't come near me, I'll blow this whole place up. Right, Akane comes again and tries to stop her, but it doesn't work. Well, stop him, Shinya, from shooting her. It doesn't work. Shinya was almost going to shoot her, and that is when Akane shot Shinya. Shinya fell down, and the girl was freaking out, and Akane comes in, and she's like, stop, put the lighter down, don't worry about it, everything will be fine. And okay, here we go, and this is where we see the index goes down, and from eliminator it turns back into a tranquilizer. So target's threat judgment has been updated. Enforcement mode is non-lethal paralyzer. So yeah, it can go down, I guess. It makes sense. Right, so here is where Shinya comes in, points the gun at her, tries to shoot her, but Akane tries to stop Shinya at first by ordering him, but when he doesn't listen, Akane shoots Shinya, and Shinya falls down, and later on that dude comes in, what's his name, Gino, yeah, he comes in and he shoots the girl as well. And now since her threat index has went down, she wouldn't die, but she's been tranquilized. And he says, I expect you to thoroughly explain your handling of the situation in your report. And yeah, that's where it ended. So there you go. That was the first episode. Like I said, this seems like it seems like such a, on paper it seems like it's a good concept. Everyone's, their mental state will be monitored, and if they get stressed out, or if they, like the whole situation gets bad, they'll go for therapy and everything will work out, that kind of thing. It sounds good on paper, but in reality and in practice, seems like such a bad idea. I feel like there's so many things that can go wrong through this whole system. And yeah, I don't know. You know what, let's wait and see. And yeah, let's see how this goes. And like I said, I feel like this is going to be a show where we're constantly going to question morality of the situation, morality of the characters, all these things we're going to see. Like there might be characters who are criminals, but in the inside they're definitely not criminals, and probably got roped into a bad situation and got convicted, while there might be police officers who are actually like, whose like tendencies are like criminals, but they haven't been caught because they always find a loophole somehow. These type of things will probably happen here. And yeah, so that is it. Thanks for watching, guys. This was my reaction to episode 1 of Psycho-Pass season 1. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Psycho-Pass. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.